Pingu is an animated children's television series that first aired in Switzerland on SFDRS from 1990 to 2000, before a revival run of the series aired in the UK from 2003 to 2006, with it being produced by Hit Entertainment and Hot Animation. The series is set in Antarctica and focuses around penguin families living and working in igloos, and the series' main character Pingu belongs to one such family, who often goes on adventures with his little sister Pinga, while also getting into mischief with his best friends Robbie and his love interest Pingu. The show is famous for its characters speaking in Penguinese, which is a fictional language that gives the series much of its unique charm that also sounds like gibberish. However, despite the series having its own made-up language, the series was used as a basis for a series of English language training tapes, released in the year 2000 via direct-to-video and again in 2002 in South Korea, although only the series' first season ended up getting dubbed in English, and its English dub has since become infamous due to its poor grammar and voice acting. A total of 6 VHS volumes, each containing 4 to 5 English dubbed episodes, ended up being released, and each volume features voice actors who make little effort to perform their characters, instead opting for clear but stilted and grammatically incorrect single-sentence readings, while matching subtitles appear at the bottom of the screen to emphasize the lesson, which unfortunately only makes each English translation more awkward. And not only that, several words are misspelled and sometimes they are not even matching what's being said. At the end of every episode, there is a listen and repeat segment where a narrator repeats all the lines said in the episode, concluding the episode. For several years, all volumes except Volume 3 of English Pingu were available to watch online, and that was the case until recently on July 3rd, 2024, when Internet Archive user Weirdo2003 posted all 6 volumes, including the previously missing 3rd volume, leaving us with no volumes of English Pingu that are left missing. In June of 2001, Levi Strauss & Company would air a commercial advertising their new super low jeans called Belly Button, that focused on close-ups of women's belly buttons edited to move as though they are talking mouths, and lip-syncing to a cover of Diana Ross's song I'm Coming Out, performed by actress Jamie Lynn Sigler in celebration that the advertised jeans allow belly buttons to be exposed. On November 26, 2001, a TV special called The WB Presents Teen People's What's Next aired on the WB, and the special is said to have been a concert which focused on showcasing profiles and performances of Teen People magazine's picks for the next generation of actors and musicians. During the commercial breaks, a variant of the Belly Button commercial called Bye Bye Belly Button would air, and it was meant to signify the end of the advertising campaign, as well as to serve as a preview towards a new line of jeans known as Super Low Stretch. And you guys are probably wondering how the advertisement would end up becoming lost in the first place. Well, the advertisement was intended to only air once, apparently at 9:38 p.m. Eastern Time. So it makes sense how such a commercial would end up becoming lost, considering that it only aired on television once. On July 1st, 2024, YouTuber Vintage VHS2 would upload a recording of Teen People's What's Next 2001 in its entirety to YouTube. And in the recording, the Bye Bye Belly Button ad was shown, making it no longer lost. Alright, so I'm going to assume that you guys all know about the game show Jeopardy and what its rules are, since it's a very popular show. So that way I don't have to explain what the show is about, and I can just get straight to explaining this entry. From January 6th to January 10th, 2003, a special week of episodes titled The Holiday Kids Week aired, featuring contestants aged 10 to 12 years old. And the episodes would often include categories and clues involving kids' pop culture, featuring video games, celebrities, and television series. On January 9th, 2003, a Kids Week episode of the series premiered, which featured contestants named Francis Musella, Alison McDonough, and Patrick DeRocher. And the episode is most notable for its inclusion of a category during the Double Jeopardy round featuring various Nickelodeon franchises such as Blue's Clues, Rugrats, and Rocket Power. One of the questions included in the category was a clue featuring Nickelodeon character SpongeBob SquarePants, who also introduces the category himself, alongside original animation and voice acting by his voice actor Tom Kenny. The question, which was worth $1,200, had a clue in which SpongeBob states, "Ahoy, I'm SpongeBob SquarePants. My pet snail Gary and I live in one of these tropical fruits in Bikini Bottom." To which the contestant Patrick DeRocher answers the question with the correct response, which is pineapple. Also, I find it really ironic that the contestant who got the question right was named Patrick, since there's a SpongeBob character coincidentally named Patrick. And I don't know, I just find this coincidence very funny. At the end of the episode, Patrick would win the game, winning a total of $29,001, with Francis placing second and Allison placing third. And after the episode premiered on television, it would fall into obscurity, along with the other Holiday Kids Week episodes. For some time, the first portion of footage from the episode was available to watch online, with it first being available to watch online when it was uploaded to YouTube by ShootFan 2011 on April 7th, 2018, which featured the Blue's Clues themed dancer from the Nickelodeon category. And 5 years later on July 4th, 2023, Lost Media Wiki Forums user BuzzNuggets would mention the episode along with the SpongeBob clue, as well as mention that someone in a Discord server was asking about the episode, where he said that they used the same model of SpongeBob that was used for SpongeBob's Nicktoons Summer Splash and the Nicktoons TV launch promo. And BuzzNuggets would also provide a link to a page on JArchive that shows all of the information about the episode. However, BuzzNuggets would not convince many people that the SpongeBob clue was real though, and the episode would continue not being publicly available to be watched for a little over a year, until recently on July 5th, 2024, when Internet Archive user Sam Bonsai uploaded the entire episode to the website, confirming that the SpongeBob clue did in fact exist in the episode. Karne sa hazing, which roughly translates to "you are just a slab of meat to hazing" in English, is an anti-hazing PSA that first aired on TV in 1995, and it was made by Basic Advertising. And it was said to be very scary and unsettling according to eyewitnesses who saw it. The PSA was 15 seconds long, and it began with a shot of a dimly lit room and a table, before an unseen person tosses a slab of meat onto the table and repeatedly hits it with a paddle. A sound of someone yelling is played every time the meat is hit, and blood spurts from the meat and splashes onto the wall. The PSA concludes with the taglines "Karne sa hazing" and "Ban hazing." Eyewitnesses who saw the public service announcement said that it aired on GMA Network during Saksi and GMA Network News, and rarely on ABS-CBN's TV Patrol. And many have said that the PSA bears a similar resemblance to another PSA about child trafficking. On June 13th, 2024, YouTube user Undust Fixation would find the PSA and eventually premiered it on July 8th, 2024, making the PSA available to watch online. Carmageddon Crude Awakening was an action vehicle combat driving game that was being developed by a Canadian development studio known as Pseudo Interactive, and was going to be published by SCI for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, with its gameplay being similar to Carmageddon but with new features to the Carmageddon formula. The game's development would begin around early to mid-2007, being a new entry in SCI's Carmageddon series. And there is a prototype of an early version for the game dating back to June 28, 2007, which features aesthetics and gameplay in line with pretty much what you would expect in a Carmageddon game. As Crude Awakening's development continued into 2008, the direction for the game began to shift into something more stylized, and possibly a new IP instead of being part of the Carmageddon franchise, with the game shifting from a more realistic contemporary aesthetic to a 1930s diesel punk aesthetic with stylized character designs. And it should be noted that concepts and mechanics planned to be implemented into the game, such as car customization and boss battles, which were beginning to enter prototyping and the pre-visualization phase. While Crude Awakening was still being developed by Pseudo Interactive, their publisher SCI was in the middle of management changes during early 2008, after demands by its investors because of SCI's plummeting stock value, which was due to deals for a potential buyout of SCI falling through, causing their stock price to go down 53% on January 11, 2008. Resulting in their CEO, Jane Kavanaugh, getting fired, along with other core SCI members Bill Ennis and Rob Murphy a week later, in a new form of leadership held by newly appointed CEO Phil Rogers, a former Electronic Arts executive. Phil Rogers would plan to keep SCI afloat during the publisher's financial turmoil by streamlining the company in an attempt to make SCI quote-unquote leaner and fitter, which led to around 270 SCI employees getting laid off and 14 different projects getting cancelled. And one of those 14 projects was Carmageddon Crude Awakening, which would be absolutely catastrophic for Pseudo Interactive since they weren't able to get the green light on any of their other projects, Divided City, which is coincidentally the next entry on this video, and Prodigal, causing Pseudo Interactive to become defunct, leaving only concept art, concept videos, and a few builds of the game that have remained available to look at. On July 10, 2024, several cancelled Pseudo Interactive games were found in an Xbox development kit that belonged to the company, that contained builds for Crude Awakening and also for Divided City and Prodigal, with development builds for Crude Awakening being dated from June 26, 2007 to February 11, 2008. And the builds were also uploaded in a file to Mega and in a file to Hidden Palace on the same day of the kit being found. Divided City was a racing/vehicular combat game that was supposed to be released on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. That was developed by Pseudo Interactive, who were known for developing the games Cell Damage and Full Auto. There's not much information known about the game, except that it would have been similar to the Full Auto series, but in an apocalyptic setting. A playable demo of the game was created, but was never made public. And after one too many cancelled projects, Pseudo Interactive went under in April of 2008, which would cause Divided City to be cancelled and result in former Pseudo Interactive employees forming Finish Line Games in 2013. Recently, on July 10, 2024, it was announced that prototypes of cancelled games from Pseudo Interactive were uploaded online through Mega, which included 2 builds of Divided City that were recovered from an Xbox development kit, giving us a better look at what the game was going to be like. Pou Eye Doctor was a mobile game that was released around the year 2013 by independent developer Belanal Peter and published by Google Play. And the game is considered to be a bootleg of the 2012 virtual pet game Pou. The game would soon end up being removed from the App Store for unknown reasons, although it's likely that it was removed due to copyright infringement towards Pou, since during that time, Zaka Limited, the developers of Pou, were removing games from the Play Store that used the game's character. The game functioned just like health-caring Flash games, except the patient was a poorly made Pou with eyeglasses. and the objective of the game was to take care of Pou's eyes. Despite the game having over 500,000 downloads on Google Play, absolutely no gameplay footage or download files from the game were available for over a decade. And although a Wayback Machine link to the game on the Google Play Store is available, the game's download button is unclickable. Before the game was found, the only material left of it was free screenshots that are visible on the Wayback Machine link, and the email address of the game's creator, Peter, which is linked on the Wayback Machine link. Oh, and I should also mention that there is a Flash game that uses the same assets and gameplay that Pou Eye Doctor used. However, it was developed by another developer known as Jeopardy Kids, and had a different title, which was Pou wearing glasses. Recently, on July 12, 2024, Pou Eye Doctor would be found and its APK file would be uploaded to Mediafire by CubeFun, giving us a much better look at what was in the game. Another story of Freddy's was a game released onto the popular game platform GameJolt, supposedly by a user named RiseMac, and it was based on the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. There is little to no information regarding the game, and despite there being numerous videos made about the game in the past, the majority of them are now deleted, leaving only a few of them left. The game was known to run very similar to Five Nights at Freddy's, and the objective was supposed to be stopping the animatronics from entering the office. However, there was no way to stop them due to the lack of development and unfinished status of the game. Videos online showcase only 2 animatronics in the game itself, and also show others that were currently unimplemented. And it was known that the game did not have a continue option, nor a new game option, but the game simply had a blue diamond that would lead you directly into the game. A game where only 2 of 9 supposed cameras worked. For a long time, the game would remain lost, and upon trying to find the game using its URL, it leads to a broken page. And using the Wayback Machine isn't any better, as any archive snapshot all fail to send you to anything. All of the videos currently available that showcase the game date back to October 2016, and the earliest Wayback Machine snapshot is from November 2016, meaning that the game was probably only on the site for a very short period of time. It is possible that the game was released as ASOF Full Source Release, with ASOF being an acronym for the game's name, since it can be seen in the URL of the former game and in a gameplay video. A YouTuber named Lixbez would attempt to recreate the game, going as far as posting developer videos and even making a page on GameJolt. However, the progress on recreating the game eventually came to a halt, with the game not being updated in over 2 years as of now. A user on Reddit would claim to be the creator of the game, saying that he cancelled it due to troubles with game coding. However, we still have yet to know if his claim was true or not. But what's even more interesting than that is another Five Nights at Freddy's fan game known as Fallen Hopes that was made around 2020, which used a similar office as well as similar cameras of those seen in ASOF. The creator of Fallen Hopes, Shadone, I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not sure how you pronounce it, so yeah, I'll just call him Shadone. But anyways, he would eventually be contacted, to which he would confirm that he was heavily inspired by ASOF, and mention that he used to have a copy of ASOF, but not anymore. He would also give some additional information about the game, saying that the game supposedly was released with both the project files and the source code, and that the game's creator RiseMac had supposedly long since deleted any files of the game from his or her computer. Recently, on July 13th, 2024, Internet Archive user Master Yorg uploaded the full source release of the game, rendering the game as found and no longer lost to media. Big BBQ Blowout was an event that took place once during Canada Day on July 1st, 2006 on YTV. And in case you don't know what YTV is, it is a Canadian channel that is targeted towards children and young teenagers. That is pretty much similar to US kids channels like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and the Disney Channel. Except it airs more Canadian shows while also airing American shows too. Big BBQ Blowout was a block that ran from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. and it revolved around Ian Kelly from the show Being Ian, hosting interstitials throughout programming in celebration of Canada Day in a star-studded fashion. The block was known for showing new original animation that was produced exclusively for it. And the original animation was for the shows Major Nostalgia Incoming, Being Ian, Yvonne of the Yukon, Captain Flamingo, Jacob Tutu, and the amazing Adrenalini Brothers. And 2 other shows were shown too, which were Martin Mystery and Jane and the Dragon. Some more nostalgia for you guys. However, they did not have any original animated clips. Instead, their clips were recycled animation from their actual shows respectively, but used newly recorded dialogue just for the block's bumpers. Also, a sneak preview of the then upcoming show Erky Perky also premiered during the block as well. As of now, the majority of the Big BBQ Blowout bumpers have yet to resurface online, and some of the bumpers have resurfaced through personal tapes, mostly due to the YouTuber Dangerous VHS uploading them to YouTube. And recently on July 24th, 2024, the bumper known as Fireworks was uploaded to YouTube by the SpongeBob. So now we have another bumper that we are able to watch. Doodle Doo is a British preschool series that aired on CBeebies in the UK from 2006 to 2010. And each episode is known for featuring Chris Corcoran, who is a Welsh comedian and radio broadcaster, playing himself, teaching Dib Dab, Stick, and Scribble, who are free puppets made out of knitted gloves, how to make various arts and crafts. The show was aimed at young children, and most of the crafts were designed to be as cheap and easy as possible, usually using materials which the average household would have lying around. Recurring sections included 2 sandworms who lived in a pirate's chest and used their tails to draw pictures in the sand, and sections featuring real-life children trying to craft for the week. The show was also known for commonly featuring original songs, most of which were performed at the end of their respective episodes. And at least 46 episodes of Doodle Doo were made, with any details about them still being made available on the BBC's website. Very recently in July of 2024, a YouTube channel known as Not So Absorbent that is presumably focused on uploading lost contents of various shows, uploaded master tapes of many of Doodle Doo's remaining lost episodes to YouTube in a 1.5 hour compilation on July 24th, before uploading the episode Hand White Butterflies the next day on July 25th, making the entire series no longer lost and completely available to watch online.